You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
And it is for the WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
Today, on the Right and Wrong Pro Wrestling Podcast, we have another member of the Diamond Division from Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. Became the champion of her division on her first effort, and she's always, apparently, super excited. You can see her in action on Rose TV program, both on the CW affiliate and on YouTube if you're not in the Texas area. Today, my guest is the Reality of Wrestling's Diamonds champion, Kylie Rae. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. I was like smiling. It's so weird, like hearing people say that, like the Rose Division, Diamond Division champ. So I was like soaking it in. It's funny.
Well, isn't that a fun thing for you? I mean, you basically came out of, as far as the TV show is concerned, you basically came out of nowhere and then boom, you're the champion.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, still to this day, and it's been months now, but I still look at the belt and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
And that's
this was my first ever match too. Yeah, it was my first ever match. It was oh my god, it was still like hands down the best experience of my life.
So,
actually, all of wrestling is probably the best experience of my life.
So that's legitimate. That is your first ever match, or is it the first ever match in that promotion?
No, my first ever match ever.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So that's legit. All right. You know, I was.
Yeah, it's legitimate. Yeah, I couldn't even sleep the night before. I think I got about an hour of sleep. Yeah, I was so nervous for so many reasons. Not only was it my first match, but like everything going up for the championship. I mean, and at Booker T's company. I mean, it's crazy. It's still, I still get very worked up like thinking about it. It was awesome. Yeah, because I trained a little bit in Chicago before I came down to Texas, and yeah, I never had a match up there. I had my first match coming down here. It was just amazing. I'm like still speechless. I never know like what to say about it because it's still unbelievable that somebody puts that much faith in you. It's crazy. So.
Well, that's
I've definitely enjoyed my time. Yeah.
Well, I guess the natural question, hearing that you actually trained in Chicago before going to Texas, is A, what made you make the decision to go to Texas? I mean, I know he has a great reputation for a school, but being in Chicago, why don't you feel like you started there first?
My trainer in Chicago was very, very adamant on nobody's going to get in the ring before they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's going to have a match before they're ready.
Okay.
So even people that he's training with, I just went back up there probably about 2 weeks ago and worked the first time ever at the company that I started training with. So it was cool because like none of my friends or family have like seen me wrestle yet. They've only seen like on YouTube and stuff, so they've never seen me wrestle live. So I got to work up there about 2 weeks ago, and we trained a little bit like the night before. And even there's kids who like have just been starting out, and I could see them getting frustrated that like, oh, like I haven't had a match yet, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh, like I remember being there, and I would argue with my trainer like so much. I'm like, I'm ready. And he's like, you're not yet. You're not. Like, don't go in there. You don't want to be remembered for, you know, like if you go out there and have a crappy match, people are going to remember that, you know? So, like, just have faith in your trainer with what they're going to say. Like, I was really young, but I was very, like, thankful that, because I couldn't see it at the time, but looking back now, he really cares about this business. There's a lot of trainers out there that'll just put people out there. They take your money. They don't really care about you. And now, like, wrestling is just flooded with people who, not everyone, but some people who just don't know how to work, and, you know.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. That is. The more I do these interviews, I do find that, you know, sometimes it has happened. It's an unfortunate thing.
It is. It's because it's and when you're working out there with somebody, you know, you put your life in the other person's hands. So in order to, you know, you have to trust that person. You trust that they're like well trained and they're not going to hurt you and not going to, you know, God forbid, like break your neck or anything. So, but and it's cool because another thing is that like with a trainer like that, it weeds out the people who, I don't want to say like don't has what it takes, but don't necessarily have the heart for it, you know, because if you want something bad enough, you're gonna keep trying, no matter how long it takes. If this is what you want, you're just gonna keep doing it until you get it. And there were a lot of people that just walked in, and you know they thought it was gonna take a month or two, and you know it took me a very long time to have a match. But I've seen people like come and go because they thought it was gonna be easy, and it's not. I mean, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So, and yeah.
That is the truth. That's a very good point. That we as wrestling fans, I guess, become really desensitized to the effort and the work that goes into pro wrestling. So when you actually make the jump and you decide, okay, I'm going to get into the ring, you almost assume that I'll be, you know, headline a show inside of a month or so. I'll be in WWE in a year. Or, you know, there are people that have set some unrealistic goals as far as what they can and will do in the business. And I guess when you have a trainer like that isn't just interested in taking the money, they want to get you trained right. That can shatter some dreams, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it does.
It humbles you.
Right.
It humbles you a lot, especially for somebody. Because I mean, I was always athletic growing up playing sports, and a lot of stuff came like natural to me. Or I mean, because I'm mildly athletic, but I know there's a lot of other people who start wrestling and they think like, oh yeah, this is going to be easy, and when they find out it's not, like that's when they get frustrated with themselves, and like it's not easy. It's not something that can just. I don't think anything about wrestling is really like natural, you know. Like it takes a lot to learn, and that's another thing. Like people get so frustrated with themselves. Oh my God, I wanted to quit so many times. I was like, I would leave training crying, and I'm like, I'm not cut out for this. Like, I still get so frustrated with myself, but it's good because it makes you work even harder, and it's just a one of a kind business. Like
you can't be that frustrated.
Wrestling's so weird. Yeah, right. I'm like doing fairly well for myself.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that makes me like legitimately happy in life. It's so weird. Aside from food, I love to eat. I actually just went to Cheesecake Factory and I'm like so full.
You're a foodie. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I have one cheat day a week, and I'm always just looking up like all you can eat buffets at work.
How does that work? You're supposed to be trained, toned, and shaped. How do you look up all you can eat buffets? You can't do that.
Oh my God, I like dream about food. It's so bad because I'm on a very strict meal plan like during the week, especially if I have a show coming up that weekend. It's I have like very mild to little carbs in order for my cheat day to be like it is. So
okay.
yeah, I struggle during the week just to make it through my through to my cheat day. So yeah, but no, I mean I love it, and that's another thing. I don't think people realize like how much wrestling like affects your life. Like anywhere from like waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym, and then everybody who works like a real job works like their actual job in life, and then going to training. Like we train Monday through Friday, from like 7 to 9 or 7:30 to 9:30, and yeah, so it's a lot. Like my training up in Chicago was only I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this one's every day, and it's like Houston traffic is brutal. Like I thought I knew bad traffic living in Chicago, but Houston traffic is like there's just so many people here, and not a lot of like public transportation, so everybody's on the street. So it takes me about an hour and a half just to get to training, and that's Monday through Friday. So it's yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it's good because it keeps me keeps me out of trouble, you know? Like, this is a good, wrestling is an addiction, and it's a good addiction to have. Like,
Keeps
probably
me
not when
out
I'm
of
40,
trouble.
and, like, I can't even, like, bend over because my knees are so bad, but I think wrestling is a good addiction to have.
I can't imagine that you would go out getting yourself into trouble, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I like to act like I'd be a rebel, but I'm really, like, such a good girl. I'm always, like, following the rules and stuff. That's how I, like, was during school, too. Yeah, I'm not as bad as I like to act like I would be. I'm all talk, I swear.
Well, the good thing about your line of work is that at some point in time, I'm sure you could act out those fantasies of being just horrible.
Yeah, right. Once I'm a bad guy.
Although right now I don't know if I could really see heel, but you know, you may change it. You may have a dark side to you that nobody knows about yet. You know, I don't know. We'll have to see as time goes on. Maybe if I'm going to say if, because you never want to tell the champion she's going to lose anything, but you know, maybe when the day comes that the title might part hands with you, you just go off the rails and like, I'm tired of this, you know, just attack everybody.
Like, stay tuned.
That's right.
To be continued, yeah.
But you know,
yeah, it'd be fun.
We have to address one thing here. Your initial interest in professional wrestling, of all the things that you're doing and that you could be doing in the world, because you said you were athletic, you know, coming up, and that could have taken you down a variety of different paths. So why within the world of, you know, athletics that you could have done, why did you land on pro wrestling?
It's weird because, see, like, okay, my dad, he works on, like, movies and TV shows and that kind of thing, and I do stunt work, and I started stunt work before I started training for wrestling because my mom wasn't as adamant as me. She didn't really want me to start training, I guess you could say. Because, I mean, it's pretty dangerous. It is. And I've just never in my life loved anything as much as I love wrestling.
Okay.
Like, from a young age. Is there anything, well, I mean, you're a wrestling fan, so you understand, but I'm thinking just, like, anybody in general, is there anybody that you can ask that has loved something since they were, like, 7 years old till now? To the age of, I mean, I'm 24, but anybody. Like, I don't see myself ever not loving wrestling. And I would get asked to, you know, like, maybe, like, video games and stuff like that. But there's a lot of
things. That's a different line there, you know. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and to answer that, I think that's maybe the common denominator that a lot of wrestling fans have, is that I've loved it for so long, you know. I mean, I think there are other interests that come around later, and it's kind of interesting that your father's in the movie and TV biz, and by proxy, you kind of trained in the movie and TV biz ahead of wrestling, because most people do it in reverse.
Right. That's what I've heard. They, like, get into wrestling and then they can do stunt work too. But yeah, I mean, I would, like, not skip stunt work, but I would choose, like, wrestling over stunt work, which is crazy because a lot of people would look at me, like, differently, or as if I wasn't making the right decision just because stunts is something that could pay the bills. And, you know, at this point, you know, you have to, like, work your way up to the top for wrestling. Like, you make a lot more in stunts than you do in wrestling at this point. And they would look at me like I was crazy choosing wrestling over stunts, but it's just, I don't really care. Like, I never once thought about doing wrestling because of the money. Like, I've never really thought about doing anything in life because of the money, you know, as long as I have enough to, like, I have a stable job. Like, I went to college, I got a degree, I have a stable job to, like, keep me going in life. You know, I don't want more than I need, you know. Mm-hmm. And wrestling it's where my heart is, and it's always been like that. I don't think I'd ever choose anything else over wrestling. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, but you fortunately, it sounds like you have at least the alternative if necessary, and that's a good plus. You know,
right.
There are those that, you know, don't have that option. Like, if this doesn't work out, I may not have anything else. But it sounds as if, okay, you've gone to college, you got your degree, you got stunt work on the other side of that, and probably have an open door into just the entertainment industry as far as TV and film are concerned in general. So, I mean, that's that's a big perk on your side. And truth be told, that takes off a lot of pressure.
Right. Yeah, like God forbid if I ever need a plan B, I have it.
And that is excellent. So any up-and-coming wrestlers that happen to be listening to this podcast right now, then there you have it. A plan B is always a good thing to have. Not saying don't chase the dream, but, it's a good
Go get your education while you're doing it. Like, that's my biggest thing. Oh, my God, there's somebody at training, not just one person, but I've heard other people are like, I'm taking time off of school to go train or to try wrestling. And I'm like, don't. Like, you could do both. I'm telling you, you could do both. It sucks, and it takes so much out of you, and you probably won't have a social life, but I'm telling you, I worked 3 jobs to pay my way through school and get a degree, and I still trained and went to wrestling shows on the weekends. Like, it is possible. It's just what your priorities are. And there was no way my parents were going to let me drop out of school to try wrestling. So I knew I had to do everything that I could.
How did you
I'm sorry?
How did you sleep?
Oh, I barely did. But I was still, like, that's what I'm saying. When you're, like, 19 or 20, who really needs sleep? You could still, like, I was able to, I was able to take naps in between class and whatnot. So, that was in between, never during class. I was able to take naps in between class. But no, it was a lot. It was very tough. And I made the honor roll the last 3 years of college. So the last 6 semesters, no. 9, let's see, 2, 4. Yeah, the last 6 semesters I made honor rolls. So, I was on the dean's list last 6 years. I remember my dad had promised me. I kind of messed up my freshman year of college where all I wanted to do was wrestle. So I was like, screw this, I don't really need it. Because I had that mindset. I was like, I'm just going to wrestle. I don't really need a degree. But I remember my dad had promised me if I graduate and make the dean's list my last semesters from then on out, then he would help me with getting a car, and I could wrestle. So I knew what I had to do. So, and I started wrestling, I think in the middle of my junior year of college. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I broke my leg about a month in. So.
Okay, well, we have to hear about that now. Was this during training or during a match?
Yes. No, it was absolutely during training. Oh, man. It was just a random Friday night. There weren't a lot of people there. And we were working on hip tosses, and I kept kind of over-rotating and landing on my butt instead of my back. And I kept saying, you know what, I think I can land on my feet. And my trainer's like, okay, let's try it. But I'm really, like, I have thick legs. So I like to tell people, like, I only have, like, a 2-inch vertical. Like, I can't jump that high. So I don't even know why I tried to do this, but I land really heavy. So I flipped and landed on my heels, and my left knee bent forward and my right knee bent backwards. And it was brutal. But I'm very awkward, and like when I'm uncomfortable, I start laughing. So like I was crying and laughing at the same time, and they thought, like, she's just a girl. She doesn't really know if she's hurt or not, because I trained with all guys. So they just like kind of like shoved me out of the ring and like let me lay there for 45 minutes while my knee just blew up, and then they finally were like, oh, maybe you should go to the hospital. I was like, I've been saying that. So yeah, I went to the hospital, and it turns out it was broken. So I was out for like 6 or 7, 8 months, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's how you know you love it, when you come back after that. And of course, like my first practice back, my trainer's like, all right, hip tosses. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, you got to get over that fear. Yeah, my trainer was awesome. He's real cool.
And apparently you are over it. Although now you know that the giggles and the laughs are a sign of a defense mechanism produced by Kylie Ray.
It is. It really is. I was telling you before that I was like, I'm so nervous. And I like don't shut up when I'm nervous. So I'm probably rambling for like no reason, and I'm sorry if you please feel free to like cut me off at any time.
That's hilarious. Oh, okay.
It'll get me in trouble though. I'll be at work and people will be screaming, and I'm just like giggling to myself, and my boss gets really mad at me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm just awkward.
Well,
I'm not laughing at you, I swear.
Down as much as possible. We don't want you to, We don't want to expose you too much, but I will say this now, talking to you, the promos that I see with you in reality wrestling now make sense.
Yeah, oh, it's 100%. Like, I swear, people are like, "Why are you so awkward?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm just awkward. I get uncomfortable. I just like laugh and ramble." And everybody's like, "Wow, this is you. Like, this is actually you. This is Kylie Ray." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." It's funny though. It's such a good time. I love it there.
For anyone that has not had the chance to see her do a promo, I'm going to make a suggestion now. I believe this may have been your first televised offense, is you and Jada Keys. And I think you had the interview following that. So if you're listening and you want to see her in action, first off, go to episode 129, The Reality of Wrestling. And you get to see the match, but then somewhere down in the later portion of the show, you get to see her in the interview segment, and it's very much like what we're listening to right now. So it's very, very hyper and giggly and just full of energy. It is.
Yeah, I probably had too much cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory, so I'm like on a sugar rush right now.
Oh my goodness! Well, you're supposed to work that out in the ring. The sugar rush is supposed to be gone by the time the match is over, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I'll see people eating like a bunch of candy, and there's somebody who always brings like cupcakes for our shows, and they'll just be in the back, and I can't. I see people eating them before the match, and I'm like, how do you not throw up in the ring? Like I would. But there's no limit with me. Like, once I start, it's just I'm inhaling food. So I'm like, I can't even start until after my match. But I make everyone, I like tell everybody in the back, I'm like, leave cupcakes for me, because as soon as I get back from my match, I'm eating like 6 of them in a row. But everybody knows that. Everybody makes fun of me for eating too much.
Well, for those people, stop leaving her stuff. She doesn't need it. Just telling you that because that's the nerves talking. Don't let her talk into giving cupcakes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think we're going to change it. I'm going to make a suggestion. I know that they can't air this on actual reality or wrestling television because it's copyrighted material. But go someplace else. I'm going to make a suggestion that Kylie Ray's new theme song is "Sugar Rush" from the Wreck-It Ralph soundtrack.
It should be. Yeah, that's only the stakes is the copyrights. I always get nervous about because I have like Pikachu on my gear, and I'm like, how much can I get away with? I was wearing like a Stormtrooper jacket like the one time, and I was like, there was really like a song that I wanted for my entrance, but we're kind of limited with certain things because given the situation. And I mean, like it's trouble. Right, exactly. It's a bittersweet. Like, oh man, I wanted that, but like I completely understand why we can't use it. Like,
you got to keep it on the air.
Right.
You are the champion of a relatively young division. I think you're like the 4th champion. Period.
Mhm.
That give you any pressure?
Oh yes, 100%. I think I thrive off of that. Like I do. I love it. Like, I love being under pressure. I love having, like, knowing that somebody has that confidence in me, because I know I have that confidence in myself, and having, like, just somebody else believing in me, like, hey, you're a champion. And it comes with so much, not just in the ring, but, like, out of the ring, too, and just in the locker room and at training. And it's an awesome feeling. And going out there and, like, proving it, like, night after night. But with every girl in our division is strong, and it's a good group of girls because we're all there training and just pushing each other and trying to get better. And I like that especially because women's wrestling is under a microscope at this point. Like now, it's really starting to blow up. So people are really starting to watch it and care about it. And I like that because it's not just some, she looks good, so let's just give it to her. Because I was never one to like base anything off of people's looks, especially not my looks, because I'm like, I don't care about that. That's something you're born with. Like, I want to do something that I have to work hard for, because I respect hard work, respects hard work, and I know how hard I work. So it's it's awesome being out there every night and then going back and watching my matches and just learning from it and like learning from everybody in the ring. There's so many opportunities. Like I remember when I first started, my goal was having one match. Like that's all I wanted to have. Like I just want to have one match.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like everything just I can't even explain it. It was like crazy. Like that one match that meant everything to me because like that was my goal in life since I was like a child, just having one match. Not that I like didn't care about WWE or anything like that, but that wasn't even in, like I didn't even think like being at Booker's was something that was like in reach for me. So like having my first match, winning the title, and having it at Booker's company, like that just meant the entire world to me. And it's just crazy like to see how far I've come from like that one match. Even from like the first day that I started training, because like, yeah, I just love being here. And then they're starting to bring more girls in, and like just being able to learn from like so many people there is just crazy. There's so many different styles of wrestling, and I think each one of the girls at that company brings their own style and kind of puts their own spin on their type of wrestling and their strengths and their weaknesses. And you know, where somebody's weak in one area, somebody is strong in that area, like another person is strong in that area. So like we push each other and we can learn from each other, and we're not in competition with each other. We're just in competition with ourselves. But I think like working with each other, we bring out the best in everyone. So I like that because I've been in locker rooms where women aren't as friendly as the girls. Yes.
I've heard those stories. But
yes.
But we certainly won't go into that now because we don't want to put anybody under the train or anything like that. So it's not throw them under the bus.
Right. Oh, absolutely not.
As the fourth Diamonds Division champion, do you feel any obligation to elevate the title? And I say that in relation to this. When I interviewed the previous champion, Ivory Robin, at the time she told me that she was able to take outside bookings, and B, I think she was able to take those outside bookings as the champion. I don't know if that ever was accomplished. I know she's taking outside bookings now, and certainly a lot more frequently. But do you carry that same kind of open door thing? Are you able to take outside bookings? Are you able to take outside bookings as the champion and take your title to, let's say, back to Chicago and defend at home, or here in Atlanta, or up the East Coast, New York, Florida, wherever?
Right. Yes, I am. I do take outside bookings for like working in Chicago, and I don't necessarily defend the title. I mean, I would love to. I don't know where exactly or how to go about that yet. There's still some rules that I need to find out about that. But yeah, I would love to. I know they advertise about it, and I would love to go to other companies and defend that, because I think Booker's company is definitely on the map, and we have eyes on us because I think it's a really innovative company, being on TV, and it's blowing up. Like being on YouTube, being on cable, having Booker there. Learning from Booker. We have film nights. He goes over our matches with us, that type of thing. It's a good company, and I would love to defend that title anywhere at any time. And I'm skeptical about some companies because, there's some companies that you might not want to necessarily be associated with, that type of thing, depending on where you want to work. Whether it's, people are unsafe there, or I just want to work with well-respected people and people that I know are going to be able to take care of me, that type of thing. So
that's understandable.
Right, exactly. So being up in Chicago and I worked Thunder Rosa from Lucha Underground, and learning from her. I didn't defend the title, but it was advertised, so it's always good whenever you can advertise your home company. Like that's my home there, and I want to be able to market that anywhere that I go. And I don't know. It's just really cool. Like, I don't know how else to say that, but I wanna go out there more, because the more I work, the better I'm gonna be, and I want to be able to push other people and have other people push me in return. So.
And you want to carry the flag for reality of wrestling as long as you can do it. That
right. I want to represent that company and show everybody why we are the best and why we have so many eyes on us, because I mean, it's true. It's awesome. It's unlike any other place. And
I tried to get the previous champion in Atlanta. I was telling some promoters here, like, you need to get her in. She's willing to come in as the champion. And I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on it. I didn't understand. I was like, this sounds like a relatively good idea. In fact, one of the girls that has showed up on your television, last month, I think, I could be wrong in the timing, but last month, Hogan, she came down there. So, I mean, it's like the connection's already here, you know. She's already made the jump down there, so why not? You know.
She was there last month, and she was there, I think, 2 months ago, too. 2 months ago, I believe in July and August. Yeah, I think she's advertising for that. She is very, oh my God. I respect, I don't want to swear. Is hell a swear? I respect the hell out of her. Whatever. I try so hard not to swear the entire time. But no, she's awesome. Like,
you're fine.
She's another one, because I'm still, thank you. I'm still so new to all this, and she taught me a lot. She definitely opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and she's very good. That's all. She's just very good. It was awesome being in the ring with her and being able to learn from her. Yeah, Kira.
Kira Hogan gets high praise.
Yes.
And at the time that I think when I first began shooting some of her matches, she might have been a little over a year in, if I'm remembering correctly. But all things considered, her career is relatively short, but she's covered a lot of ground. I mean, she's been easily one of the most dedicated persons that I've seen, and has worked to get bookings everywhere. And now, you know, from
everywhere.
wrestling to WSU to up the East Coast. I think. Yeah,
I think she was just in New York, right? She's done so much in so little time. It's inspiring, to be honest. That's the only thing. That's the only way I can describe it.
You got to jump.
And those are things. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because just watching her, and I'm like, wow, like that's crazy, because you don't always hear about that. Like accomplishing so much in so little time, and it pushes. It pushes me too. It's awesome to see, and she deserves it. She's very good at what she does. So
where's your photo shoot? You know, now that I think you got to get your photo shoot and you're the champion.
I know.
I don't see a lot of pictures with you around. It's like, this is the time where you're supposed to, all right, time to get my picture with the belt and, my outfit. My work.
Like market myself, right?
Yeah.
But I'm so awkward. I hate taking pictures. Like, I didn't know. Like even taking my promo pics. Like, they're like, okay, like, get in there, and I was just like, oh crap, and I just do this awkward thumbs up, I'm just so awkward. Like, as much as I love being out there and love wrestling, it's so weird. I'm like, it's not that I'm shy, I just am uncomfortable being knowing all the eyes are on me. Not so much in the ring, but any other place. I'm just like, oh, okay, it's okay.
Get your photo shoot in, and just go ahead and giggle and laugh and get it out your system, and let them take the pictures. But you gotta have it. You gotta have it.
I know, and people keep asking, they're like, do you have pictures? Do you have 8x10s? And blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. But I'm going to. I swear I'm going to.
Okay, so you promised this now. You just put this on the podcast, so it is captured forever. So is this promise now official?
Absolutely.
You're good to go. Okay.
Scouts honor too. And I was a Girl Scout, so Girl Scouts don't lie.
All right. There we have it. That's good enough for me. You said it.
It's going to happen. I swear.
It's going to happen. Now the question is, how long is it going to take? That's the real question. But we're not going to push that right now. We're going to let you kind of work yourself into that. I forgot to ask. Now, is this your one of the first interviews that you had, or is the first?
It is my second.
Second?
It is my second.
All right.
Yes. I did my first one probably like 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. It might not even been 3, but yeah, I always get nervous about that.
Are you any better? Do you feel better?
I feel better. I feel comfortable. Like if it's just like a normal conversation, I'm pretty good at talking to people. Like my major in college was organizational communications, and so I'm like mildly good at what I went to school for. It's okay. Like I love talking to people. I just know how awkward I am sometimes, so I like feel bad because sometimes I'll just say something and people like don't know how to respond. So yeah, and like some people are judgmental, so I don't know how people are gonna feel listening to this. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I'm trying the best I can. Just bear with me. I swear I'm trying.
I'm sure your fan base will enjoy any information that opens up who Kylie Rae is going to be useful, and that's what this is about. That's what the Women's Pro Wrestling Network channel on YouTube. That's what the website, the podcast. That's what all that's about. Unfortunately, you're not here in Atlanta, so I can't put a camera in your face and do that version of interview. But the podcast always works, and it is these things are there, so the fan base at large can always have some access to know who that person is and get emotionally invested, and that's what wrestling's about. Get emotionally invested in that person so you can either support, cheer, or boo, all that good stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm just a big weirdo. I think that's what my mom calls. She's like, you're just a big weirdo. I'm like, I know. I swear I'm just like unique. That's like I dare to be different. Anybody out there, society's telling them to live a certain way. Don't just screw them. Just be you. As I'm like sitting in my car, I'm just in like a hoodie. I was watching the pay-per-view inside, and I was like, I'm just gonna go out to my car, and I'm just like sweating and whatever.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. As we are talking, Clash of Champions is on, and I could totally forgot that was on until I woke up. Like, oh man, the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's on tonight. That wrestling thing.
But I have a lot less pressure to watch it now that it's network material. I'm like, okay, I'll catch it later. I was like, as soon as it's done, it'll replay at 11 o'clock, so I'll look at it then.
Yeah, I know. I get so mad because I usually always start it late. For some reason, I'm just like not home for whatever reason, and I'll start it probably like an hour late usually. And I always try to stay off social media because
they're going to blow it up and ruin it.
They can't just let us be happy. Yeah, there's always spoilers on the internet, so I always try so hard to stay off of the internet, and it's hard sometimes because sometimes I'll get random texts like, "Oh, did you see so and so?" and blah blah blah. I'm like, man, come on, like, I'm like not watching it yet. Like, stop. Those people are just mean, just bullies. I swear.
Well,
or the people that like want to know the finish before even watching the match. I'm like, why are you ruining it? I get so mad at that.
Well, that's what people do. They spoil it.
Yeah, but that's it's like the little kid in me, like the little 7-year-old. Like I just want to watch it, like as a fan, like and enjoy it for what it is.
Well, quite honestly, I get spoiled by the network itself because I forgot to turn the notifications off on my tablet, and I went to it. It was just a line of results. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that hurt like my heart, you saying that, because I feel your pain. That happened to me one time before I turned off the alerts, and ever since that, like I cried myself to sleep that night. I was no, it wasn't that serious. No, I was really upset.
Well, I will say
I like surprises.
Yeah, I do enjoy the surprises, but I will say, it is still a good thing that I can at least go in there and that in any given time, I can still enjoy the match bell to bell, even though I know the result. But today I don't, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and I won't give off anything. I caught maybe 10 minutes in between of a match, and I still don't know who won. So I still had the entire show to kind of look forward to tonight. So.
Good. I hope you do enjoy it too. I watched the first 2 matches so far, and I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them a lot. But I'm easily entertained. If people are working hard, I'm like, oh yay, and I clap. And like, yeah, I'm alone. I'm just like, oh yay. I'm such a loser. We went to a wrestling show last night, and like, it was just a, like a typical indie show, like some odd amount of people there, and Sorry, my Chicago accent is coming through when I say odd. Just bear with me. I have a little bit of an accent. But, yeah, I was just, like, getting into it with, like, the little 7-year-olds around us. Like, they're clapping. So in return, I'm, like, clapping. And I'm like, oh, yay. Like, I love this. I just love wrestling.
Now, quick question. The longest match that you recall ever being in?
Probably the one that I just had in Chicago, actually. It was, I think about 15 minutes. Yeah, that was the longest that I had. And that was the longest. Usually at Booker's, we usually don't go that long. We usually go probably like 6 minutes. I think the last one that I had with Jada that just aired today, that was probably 11, maybe 10 or 11. But the one that I just had in Chicago, yeah, that was 15, and I was not used to that, like, at all. And that's when I was like, wow, I'm a little out of shape. Like, I need more cardio.
Well, that kind of answers the next question, but I'm going to kind of go into it anyway. You say you feel a little bit out of shape, so would you be prepared, say, if a booker came up to you and was like, look, I need you to do 30 minutes?
100%. I mean, I would have to, like, not, if he was like, hey, tomorrow, can you go 30 minutes? Like, absolutely 100% I would do it. But I would definitely need to switch up my workouts a little more and definitely do more cardio and, like, circuit trainings and sprints and something like that. But I was actually thinking that because for the next show, you know, they're having, like, a ladder match and a steel cage match and stuff. And I was like, man, I really want the women to have any stipulation match, like anything. Like, I think that would be really awesome because, especially nowadays, I mean, women are starting to have those kind of matches, and I would love to see that there. I think that would be so cool to have a steel cage match.
Not a question.
For the Diamond Division champ.
Is that the stipulation you would like, a steel cage to be tossed into it? Is that your personal choice?
I think so. Just because I know if it was, I'm kind of clumsy. So if it was, I'm just thinking about like a ladder match, and I'm like, man, I would probably just like fall off the ladder.
Oh.
I swear I'm really clumsy. Like, as athletic as I am, I'm still pretty clumsy. But yeah, I think a steel cage match would be really cool to do. Okay. I think it would. I would love to do that. But I like not that I necessarily do all the high flying stuff, but I want to eventually learn. I do like the most minimal amount, but I want to start doing more, and I think that would be really cool to have a steel cage match.
Now,
like, when was the last time? Yeah.
When was the last time you've seen it? Not very often.
Yeah.
But
not often
now,
at
wouldn't
all.
that feel like it came a little bit premature? Now, I know it doesn't carry the same weight that it did 10, 15, 20, you know, the steel cage doesn't carry that kind of weight that it did. But generally speaking, don't you want to have, like, you know, let's just use you and Jada Keys. You've already had the one match, and say that, you know, she comes back, beats you non-title or something like that, and it carries on, and then it's like, okay, we got to solve this, we got to sell it. Steel cage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I just meant, like, in general, like, not necessarily. Like, I would love for that to be an option, especially for, like, we have a big show coming up in December. So, I mean, Jada and I, we've already wrestled probably, I think 4 times already. 4 times we, because we did one in Texas City, too. And, yeah, I think, and it's friendly competition. I mean, I guess she...
Until one of
until
you
throw in the steel cage.
That's right. Then
But I mean, any type of stipulation, I would love to see the girls get some type of stipulation match, especially when the guys are getting them too.
Okay.
Because I think that the whole gender equality thing, it's starting to become big now, and women are starting to break through those glass ceilings. So as much as there's eyes on the women right now, I think it would be cool to see some type of stipulation. Maybe not necessarily a steel cage match, but I would like that. I think it'd be really cool. But any type of stipulation match, even like best 2 out of 3, something like that.
Okay.
That's something Jada and I could do, to be honest.
Well, how about this then? Now, normally I save the this for the fantasy booking portion of the podcast, and I still have another fantasy booking scenario. So I will. So you'll get two for the price of one today, folks. You get two fantasy bookings. So I'm gonna pitch this. How about you just rip off the ECW through the original three-way dance concept, and you. I mean, because originally it was kind of like a three-way, but it was a gauntlet three-way. It was the champion goes in. Well, no, not the champion. You have your challenger. They against one other person. I'm going to say in this case, you and Jada Keys. Okay, y'all have your match, but provided that neither one of you win within the stipulated time, 15 minutes, then a new challenger is eligible to enter in. And say you have now Ivory Robin that walks into the match fresh, and she gets to enter herself into this now three-way dance title match. If she isn't capable of winning within her stipulated amount of time, now you add the fourth and final.
Oh my God. I would love that. I really would.
Which now means that you potentially would have to wrestle for an hour.
Right.
If you're going to survive.
I'm already pretty sore if I'm going to a 15-minute match, but I'm all for that. I'm all for any obstacle you want to throw my way. Well, I think that's so cool. That would be awesome. Yeah.
There you have it is now it is out into the universe. Now you got bookers here. You can go and suggest that if you want. Knock yourself out. That's for free.
It's gonna happen. Thank you. Thank you so much for the idea. I appreciate that. No, I can't wait to go and talk to the producer tomorrow. Book this. I swear it's gold.
Well, listen to this idea. It's about 45 minutes into the show. Yeah.
Just us. That entire show is just going to be us. I swear it'll work.
Well, see, now that's going to be your day when you're going to be like, look, this is our main event. Give us a chance, Booker, please. So,
I'll be like, this is the only event tonight. This is all that's happening. No, but definitely, that would be awesome. That would be, yeah. I mean anything, but no, definitely that. Like any type of stipulation. I think it adds to the match. It's adds to the excitement. You know. So.
Now, I think I touched on it a little bit before, but I'm going to ask for the benefit of the listeners. You don't have an excessive amount of online material right now that fans can kind of pick through as far as your photos and things like that. You already said that you work on your 8x10s, you promised.
Promise. For Christmas, everybody for Christmas. I promise.
But now, if you're going to suggest to any fan that hasn't had the opportunity to see you work, what match are you going to suggest to them? For any that's online right now.
Anything that's online. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Let me say. Well, I don't just want to choose one. I think all of the reality wrestling matches. I mean, the Fatal 4-Way, that was good. The one that I just had with Jada, that meant a lot to me.
Okay.
The one that just aired today. I know there was one that I got to work. Because one that I just did in Chicago, that's not up yet. But there's also a triple threat that I worked with two guys. And I thought it meant a lot to me because one of the guys I started training with from day one. So I know not a lot of people agree with like intergender matches, but I enjoy them. I really liked that one. It was from Northern Lights. It was in Kankakee. It was me versus Ray Furia versus DDS, and I thought it was really cool. But definitely the one that I worked with Jada Keys today, and then I think my first match with Ivory, because Ivory's one who, she kind of took me under her wing. I was really nervous when I first came to Booker's, and she's taught me a lot. I've learned just by watching her, and she's good at what she does. I've appreciated.
And she has evolved.
She kicks butt. I know I said the A word earlier, but I'm trying to cut that down.
I appreciate the effort. I do. It is family friendly, but every once in a while we can let some stuff fly. Ivory has evolved. We have to got to give her credit from where credit's due. I think when I originally spoke with her, she was also relatively new at the time, but now she's changed her whole look. I mean, she's practically got ivory hair, and
yeah, I love that hair.
It
looks so cool. And she's the one that kind of like restarted this entire division because it was out for a while. It was out for a good while, but you know she didn't stop. She didn't stop coming. She didn't stop coming to training. Before I got there, yes, they kind of put the kibosh on the women's division. It was for a little bit, and Ivory just kept showing up and kept busting her butt to show like, hey, no, we're gonna do this thing. So she definitely paved the way for a lot of us newcomers that are new to bookers at least, and we owe a lot to her, and.
Okay.
Well, what she did, yeah. I appreciate that. Thanks, Ivory.
Well, we pulled back the curtain a little bit because she's supposed to be mean. But
I know, she is mean, but I like to see the good in everyone. And even when she is mean on the outside, I swear she's got a big heart in her hard exterior. I just like to see the good in everyone.
There you go. That's kind
I don't know. People call me naive, but
No. We'll just relate that to the Grinch. Remember that movie? Jim Carrey. He's a mean guy, but underneath the green fur and the gruff exterior, and maybe
wait, what movie?
The Grinch.
Oh, the Grinch. Yes, okay. Oh my God, yes. I know. I was just thinking because today I went and saw, or not went and saw, but I was talking about Dumb and Dumber, and when you said Jim Carrey, and I was like, you've seen Dumb and Dumber, right?
I've seen both of them, yes. I like the first one, the second one not so much.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really care for the second one. But the first one we were talking about, we were out at, I keep talking about Cheesecake Factory. Jesus, I might as well be sponsored by that. That would be pretty cool, actually. But we were talking about the scene, where he throws the salt over his right shoulder and hits Seabass.
Oh,
and he's like, what the? I was just talking about that because I saw somebody knocked over the salt, and I was laughing. But whatever. Anybody at the table, they didn't see Dumb and Dumber, so nobody knew what I was talking about. And I was
they've seen it. It's classic comedy. It's a disgusting scene, however. But
but anyways, you were talking about the Grinch. Yes, I agree.
I know that was random. That was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's me. I'm very random. I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm like Cindy Lou. I'm the little girl, and I was like the big Grinch, and I'm like, no, the Grinch has a heart.
And by the way, Ivory, I'm not calling you the Grinch. I'm just.
Oh, you are. I heard that. Don't act like you're not.
Don't be in trouble. I'm still Facebook friends with her. Don't ruin that.
It's all out of love, I promise.
Okay. All right. What is Kylie Ray's big move? We have to establish every wrestler has the big move, the finisher. You got to have a cool name that gets attached onto something. What is it?
Okay, so it's a charity case.
Okay.
It's a Russian leg sweep into the crossface.
Ah. Okay.
So, but I say the charity case. I know it's so dorky, but somebody called me a charity case.
Oh, that's where they got it from.
Yeah, they said, oh, you were just my charity work. Like being friends with me, it was just their charity work. Like you're the biggest charity case I've ever had, because they were kind of like acting like they were like my life coach because I just I'm very young and naive and I have a lot to learn about life. So they're like, oh, you're just my biggest charity case. And I remember trying to like get out of being a charity case, basically. So people are trying to get out of that move, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna lock you into being a charity case and see how that feels.
Oh my goodness!
I know, I'm such a nerd.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that today.
Yeah, right.
Maybe a couple of years ago. Well, that's decades ago now, but no, I think
now it's socially accepted.
I think it's proof positive that the nerds have won that fight.
Yes.
Just the fact that you're on social media right now, you're doing a podcast, there's Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, the nerds have won that battle.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, 100%.
So yes. So for you movie buffs out there who actually remember the old movie Revenge of the Nerds or any version of that, Yeah, that's not happening again. They're not going to remake that thing.
I wish they would. I wish they would remake so many movies.
How?
But I'm kind of a movie buff. I mean, I feel like
I'm a movie buff.
I'll randomly quote movies and nobody understands.
Let's be honest here. How today could you do a Revenge of the Nerds movie? What could you possibly get off of it?
I know, but it's so crazy how things have changed. It's so crazy. Like, then compared to now, like, so many things are more accepted, and it's just so funny. Like, I was listening to the Cody Rhodes, he was doing an interview, and he was talking about Gold Dust, and it was, like, some improv, and they, like, came out, and he was doing, like, the gay gimmick, and they're like, oh, no, it's cool. Like, being gay, it's accepted now. And he's like, no, I'm going to get heat. Like, that kind of thing. I just thought it was the funniest thing. Cause it's like, no, it's 2016. Like, it's cool. Like, everybody accepts it. It's not, like, weird or anything.
No, it's not.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
You have so many more uses of that. I mean, I was off topic a bit. I was just at an indie show with a friend of mine, and we saw, gosh, I can't remember his name right now. It'll come to me later. But he was probably one of several guys that's using the gay gimmick. And we was just talking in the crowd, like, if this had happened 15, 20 years ago, he'd have been booed.
Yeah, like, you wouldn't have gotten over it at all. Like, you're the bad guy.
I said, nah, he was the easy favorite. He walked in there to cheers.
Oh, yeah, everybody loves it. I love how things have changed. I mean, there's some things that obviously America still needs to work on.
Yeah.
But no, I love how...
But
yeah, we'll leave that at that.
We'll leave it at that. But getting back to the movie thing, no. Revenge of the Nerds, no. I'm sorry. I don't think you can even have a movie where jocks are brutalizing nerds without repercussion.
It won't happen, unfortunately. A girl can dream, I swear.
That's how long that movie would last now. To be done in 10 minutes. The second a jock does something, off to the dean's office. You're done.
Yeah, right.
The end.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's funny. That's very funny, actually.
Well, that'll be the movie I'll remake right there. It'll be pretty short.
And I will be the first one buying tickets, I promise.
Well, thank you for supporting my 10-minute-long feature.
Yeah, right.
Now, I asked Ivory this when I had her on, but that's been a couple of months, so maybe things have changed. So I'm going to ask you, to the best of your knowledge, are there any plans for Reality of Wrestling to push any pay-per-views or traditional pay-per-views or anything of that nature?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I know they're just trying to expand. And they are. I guess I'm biased, but I think we blew up. Like, since I've been there, it's just been getting bigger and bigger. We've gotten more attention from media, just cable. I would love to see that. I think that would be awesome, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think one day, yeah, I could absolutely see it. I think we're just growing and getting better and getting bigger, and I don't see why we wouldn't be able to. So.
Fair enough.
I would say stay tuned. That's what I'm going to say.
Good answer.
Yes.
Do you follow any other lady wrestlers out there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, of the ones that you follow, is there any potential opponent that you are kind of waiting for? Like, I can't wait to get booked against so-and-so.
I would say since I've started training, Heidi Lovelace.
Okay.
So, like, since day one. I met her one time. I completely marked out. Completely. I know you're, like, not supposed to do that, but excuse me for being a fan of wrestling. Yeah, I would love it. I think it would be awesome. Like, she knows my trainer, like my first trainer that I started with in Chicago, and I remember I would go to training, and I would that day before I would get to training, I'd be on campus at school and just watching clips of wrestling, and I'd always watch matches of hers, and then go to training that night and just completely like steal all of her spots that she was doing. So I was like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and Heidi's doing this, and like to get in the ring with her one day definitely like a dream of mine. I think that would be really cool to do. But there's so many girls. I mean, Kiera too. She was one who I definitely wanted to get in the ring with, and I was able to, and that was awesome. Thunder Rosa, I just got in the ring with her. I think that's crazy. Another one, I mean, obviously Mickie James. I mean, Mickie James obviously is well beyond established in this industry, but I know she's been working a lot of indie matches lately, and I just think it'd be awesome. There's another girl up in Chicago. She started training a little bit ago. She's only had a few matches, but I think I want to work with a lot of people who already are established, and then I want to work with a lot of like new people too, because I think I could learn both ways, because I'm still new. So I think it'd be cool to work. I mean, Jada and I were both very, very new when we got in the ring and had our first match, and it's cool to see like what we're able to do. And then learning from being in the ring with somebody who is more experienced, that they can, oh my God, they would be able to like skyrocket my knowledge, I guess you could say. But yeah, another one, Candice LeRae, I would love to work with Kimberly. Yeah, Tessa. Oh my God, there's so many people that, yeah.
But at the top of that list, Lovelace.
Yes, oh, hands down. I would like kill to be in the ring with her. She's so good.
Oh,
and there's another one.
That's high praise.
Yeah, I think she's awesome. Like, and she wrestles like the guys. Like she's just really good. Like I don't think she's scared of anyone. Like the stuff that she does. Or Nixon Newell too. I mean, she's in England, right? But yeah, there's so many like good female workers that.
Well, now I have to track her down.
Yeah, she's another good one.
Just because it is.
Please do.
And if I'm successful, I will pass that message on.
Yeah, there's a lot of and like the women of honor, like Kelly. Oh my God, she's so good. She actually reached out to me. She's. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people have like helped me in ways that they don't even realize. Just like the smallest conversation. I like taking anything, even like two sentences. If I can get 2 sentences for somebody, like, and just being able to learn from that, it just means a lot to me. And I don't think the people that I talk to even realize how much it means to me when they take the time to even acknowledge any type of like knowledge that they're giving me. I mean, it's because they were once in my position. You know, every professional started as a beginner, so they've been there and they know. Like being able to see where people are at now and being like, okay, like I can get there. And for them to take time out of their day, because I don't have to do that, but take time out of their day to help me or give me advice or like anything, or just even be like, hey, keep pushing. Something as little as that, like that means a lot to me. It's like they don't even have to do that, but they know because they've been there. They've been in my position before. So there's little things like that. It means a lot to me.
Okay.
So,
and that's wonderful. And a quick plug for me that there's an interview forthcoming with Kelly Klein that we've already recorded.
Are you interviewing her soon?
No, I've already done it.
Oh, you already have? Oh my God, why haven't I heard that?
It hasn't gone up yet.
Oh, it hasn't. Okay, that's why I was like, you haven't.
So that's why I say it's a quick
she reached
plug
out to me, and she's that's the quick plug. She's awesome. She's one who definitely helped me with, I don't know, just my confidence, I guess you could say. And I don't even think she realizes that because we've only had like a couple of conversations, but she reached out to me when she didn't have to, and I appreciate everything that she said to me, and it was awesome to do. Because there were times where I was irritated about, you know, certain things within wrestling, and she helped me. Now it's just like,
she taught you
roll with the punches kind of thing. Wow. That's wrestling.
Indeed. Now for you and for anyone else that happens to be interested in that, the podcast schedule for all of these releases are up on WPNWrestling.com. It's right on the front page. You go right on there, scroll down just a tad, and the schedule release for every interview is there for you to get yourself tuned in for. And for cases like this, you just go right onto the podcast page, hit the subscribe buttons, or you go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, go on to Facebook, hit the subscribe button. Anywhere you can catch on any digital platform, just subscribe, like, and you'll know when it's there. Boom. Easy. All right.
Boom. I like that. Boom.
You can use that one too. If you want to end your interviews, just go boom.
I'm going to, but I'll throw a little point just for you.
Now I'm going to watch just for that.
No, I'm nervous. I'll be special. Boom.
Pressure. That's right. It's good stuff.
It's time for random questions.
We have now made it to the point of the interview where it's time for random questions. Although we've been random on occasion, this is the official point where it's random questions. This is where the questions come that aren't necessarily specific towards wrestling, although I may toss in some here and there. So, okay. I want to begin with this. There are a few that I have, but I also have a twist on the inside the Actors Studio questionnaire that comes at the end of the show. Mine is geared more towards wrestling, of course. So we'll get you going with that. So we're going to start here. Name a movie you would like to remake.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds. No, I'm just kidding. I won't say that.
Easy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. A movie I would like to remake. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Space Jam.
Oh.
Although, not with any of the new cast. I want Michael Jordan and Bill Murray to still be in that. Because I love them. That's my favorite movie.
Michael Jordan and Bill Murray to come back and do it again.
Yes. At this age, they are still in phenomenal shape, I promise. Because I know them personally. No, I don't, but I want them to remake Space Jam. And there's more, the graphics have gotten better, so I think everybody will enjoy a new Space Jam.
I think they're working on it, but I thought with LeBron.
LeBron, I know, I hate him so much. I don't hate him. My sister likes him, and I just like to argue with my sister. So.
Well, if it makes you feel, you should say you want a Space Jam just geared in a wrestling environment instead of basketball, and then you could be in it. See?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be Daffy Duck. I'm just kidding. No, I'll be Kylie.
There you go. Be Kylie. That just makes a cartoon version of you.
Kylie dressed as Daffy Duck.
That might work. Name a TV show you're currently into.
What have I been watching? Aside from wrestling. What am I currently... I've been rewatching. Yeah. Oh, I hate being put on the spot. I'm so nervous. Yeah. Okay, so I always watch The Office and I always watch Friends, but I've been... How to Get Away with Murder is one that I keep up with, and then Blackish I actually keep up with. But I always love Parks and Rec, The Office, and Friends are always my go-to.
Okay.
Those are always really good ones.
What's your favorite word?
Obnoxious. And rambunctious. Okay, I have two favorite words because I like saying rambunctious and obnoxious.
What's
I don't know why. They're funny to say. Yeah, right.
That's fun to get out. What's your least favorite word?
I don't know if I have a least favorite word. Because everybody will always say, like moist or pantyhose or some weird word. But I don't think there's... Oh, you know what? Lard. Lard is probably one of my least favorite words because somebody said it at dinner. And I was like, well, actually, I said it, but I was like, I don't really like the word lard. Or there's a cuss word, too, that I really don't like, but I won't say it because it's a bad word.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Halloween or Christmas?
Ooh, Halloween. Because you get a lot of candy and you don't have to buy anybody presents. That's selfish to say, but
What turns you off?
poor grammar skills. I'm a grammar Nazi. I am not ashamed to say that. I have a college education, and I hate when people don't know the difference between you are and your. So if you're texting me, please know the difference, because I will call you out in a second.
Well, for you fans out there that don't know how to type and use correct grammar, that's for you.
Yes.
Here's your moment to get it out your system. What's your favorite curse word?
Oh, God. Shit. Probably shit. Shit. Like, I always say that word. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, that one, definitely.
Covers a lot of ground.
It does. It's easy to say.
What noise do you love?
Oh, man. What noise do I love? But not music, right? Just like a random.
Just a random noise.
Not music. Wow, that's a good question. Oh, I'm gonna be so lame and say like the table fan that I have in my bedroom because I always fall asleep with the fan. I don't know any other noises that I.
No, are you kidding me? You know how many people do that? I do that. I go to sleep to the fan.
Even like every night since 7th grade, I've slept with a fan on, and I'm so used to it that I like have to have the fan on. Oh man, or maybe laughing. People laughing. I'm gonna be lame and say people laughing. I love seeing people happy. So.
Well, what noise do you hate?
What noise do I hate? Kids crying. I can't stand that. I know. The only bad thing about me, I just can't stand when kids cry. Like babies crying on a plane. Like, come on.
I guess you can't get away from it there.
Yeah.
Other than professional wrestling, what profession would you like to attempt?
Being a lawyer.
Ooh.
100%. I like to argue with people. But I like seeing people's opinions and why they think something is correct or, other people. So I love debating with people. So, yeah, being a lawyer, that would be awesome. Because that was my first major, actually. I was going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
And I realized it's like 10 years of schooling, so not that long, but.
Name me 3 women's champions that precede the Divas Championship.
Oh, wait, what was the question?
Name me 3 women's champions that precede the Divas Championship. Meaning.
Okay, so you mean. Well, I didn't know if you meant people or like titles.
No, the people.
The people, okay.
Meaning, the ones that have held the Divas Championship are ineligible.
Okay.
It has to be women that have held the title before that championship was created.
Okay. So, only in WWE? Is that what we're saying?
I'll open you up. You can go past that.
Okay. AJ Lee. I'll stick to WWE. I'll stick to WWE. AJ, I'm a huge fan of AJ Lee.
Well, now AJ Lee would be ineligible. She's a Divas champion.
Oh, she was a Divas champion. Oh, crap. Okay. People who haven't been. Okay, so.
I don't have the buzzer on me. That would have been it. That was my Family Feud buzzer.
I know. I'm already messing up. It was my first answer. I'm like, oh, crap. Okay, so. Oh my God, it's a hard question.
I know. That's why it's on the list.
Yeah. Wow. That's stumping me.
I'll give you a hint. You'll be safe generally if you go Attitude Era and ahead.
I know, but I'm trying to think.
Right now, there's a listener saying, "I know this."
Can I say like Victoria? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not understanding the question.
Victoria is one. She was the 2-time women's champion.
Trish?
Trish is another. 7-time.
Lita?
Lita is another. Let's see. Twice? 3. I think she had 3. So
thank God. Okay.
That is your 3.
I was trying to think. I know, and I was trying to think of not the ones that everybody else would guess, but I do. I like Victoria.
Well, you know.
I knew everybody would say Trish and Lita, and I was like, whatever, I'll just say it.
Okay, well, look, we also would have accepted Molly Holly.
Yes.
Jazz. Jacqueline. Sherry Martel. Wendy Richter. Rockin' Robin. Would have accepted any of those ahead of the Divas Championship.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I was just watching a match with Molly Holly. It was with Victoria, too.
Well, you got Victoria out, so that, or Mickie James, I think, for that matter. I think she.
Yeah, what did I say? Of course.
So you're fine. This is what happens.
Okay.
You get questions out the blue. It puts pressure on you, and then you're like, your brain locks up.
And you blank. I'm like, oh my God, what is he asking? I'm like, okay, don't mess up. I feel like I'm in school all over again. People start throwing paper balls at me and stuff.
Oh no! just remember that you're not on the actual game show. You're fine.
I know, but I can see people coming out of bushes. So I'm just standing in my parking lot right now. People are gonna start coming out of bushes throwing tomatoes at me. I'm just kidding, but that would be messed up if they did.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, what's the next question?
Next question. You make it to the WWE, and Vince McMahon is there to welcome you. What would you like to hear him say when you arrive?
Catering's this way? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. No.
I'm taking that answer.
Okay. Kylie, we've been waiting for you. Catering's this way. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just even hello, how about that? I would still, anything that he would say, I would probably it wouldn't even register, because I would just be like, oh my God, it's been super. I've been waiting my entire life for this. And
here you are.
Yeah, right. And it's just immediate regret in his face, oh, this girl, she's got to go.
Well, we won't wish that on you. We want you to be able to get it.
Yeah.
See, you made it through the questions without any pain or any problems. Very good.
Thank you. That's it? I thought there were going to be more. I was like, oh.
No, you wanted more? I can't believe it.
No, oh my God, I'm sweating. I'm like, oh God, I'm so nervous.
I mean,
the pressure was on.
Well, it's supposed to be. I mean, I keep a giant list of these just random questions that I can pull. And I can ask you another one.
They clearly shouldn't be hard questions, but of course me, I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta be right.
Well, no, there's no right and wrong. You know, here's a bonus. Bonus question. What's a talent that the general public doesn't know about you? A talent that you have that the general public is unaware that you can do.
I can touch my tongue to the tip of my nose. No, okay, so I can actually do that, but no, that's not an actual talent that I'm proud of. I don't brag about that, I promise. A talent. Let's see. I was a good softball player. I love playing softball. I don't know if that's necessarily a talent, but we won state my junior year of high school, and I missed softball. But so yeah, I was a good softball player. As you can tell by my thick legs, I was a softball player. I guess I'll say that's a talent. Yeah.
Let's see. We'll accept that.
Thank you.
And I think I had a man versus food version question on here, but given that you're a food person, I think that'll be the one that we finish the random questions thing with.
Oh yes, I just get really excited. I love talking about food.
You're given a milkshake the size of your head, and you're told that you have to finish this in 15 minutes, and you win $500. Sorry, not 50, $500. Do you accept
I would do it.
Challenge, or do you step aside to avoid the side effects of gluttony?
I would accept that challenge for $5. I don't need $500 to finish a milkshake with $500.
Isn't that?
I love ice cream. People say that to me, and that's the kind of negativity that I don't need in my life because I eat so much. No, I'm just kidding. No, my mom always says it. She's like, you don't need seconds. I'm like, don't tell me how to live my life. I'm fine.
So you just roll over with your stomach ache later on and just deal with the pain?
Yes.
Okay.
As I'm so lactose intolerant, but I'm just like, I don't care. I love ice cream and pizza.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Painful, but it's worth every ounce of pain.
I'm lactose intolerant, but yes, I would try to take this half a gallon worth of milkshake to get 5 cups.
I will take baths in milkshakes because actually that would be cold, but that's how much I love ice cream.
Okay, well now we have found some new information about Kylie Ray. I like to think that this interview has opened up new doors.
I'm like thinking to myself, I'm so sorry to you and everyone. I'm just so random.
Do not
apologies for my
randomness. Apologize. No, don't apologize. You can't do that.
Fantasy booking.
So now here's the final leg of the podcast, fantasy booking. Now I did a little bit of fantasy booking earlier in the show when I gave you my 4-way gauntlet idea for the stipulation that you're looking for, but now this is where I ask you, Kylie Ray. My theory is that almost every wrestler has a fantasy storyline / angle that they really want to see played out or would like to pitch or participate in. So I'm going to say, Kylie Ray, give us your fantasy booking.
Oh, okay. My fantasy booking, and it could be. Oh my God, my fantasy booking. There's so many.
I will add this to kind of narrow the field. Let's try to stick it to people who are alive and actively wrestling.
And actively, so I can't say AJ.
I'm afraid not. AJ is no longer actively wrestling.
Okay. Well, can I say Heidi? I mean, I already said she's at the top of my list, but let me think. She's still wrestling. That's where I want to work. I've always wanted to. Okay, let me think.
But you got to pitch it to me in story form. How does it unfold?
How does it unfold?
Yes.
I want it to be. Do you remember the whole Shawn Michaels, Jericho?
Yes.
You were my idol.
Mhm.
I want it to be like that. Although she, not only does she not respect me, but she doesn't take me seriously. Because I know I don't get taken seriously a lot in wrestling and in life because she's just this little girl. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's young and naive. She can't hang with the professionals and the big guys and just let her play with all the little kids. She's not cut out for this. And I want to prove her wrong. And then have that big smack in the face. I totally just jumped the entire storyline, but I think that would be really cool. I love the underdog storyline and that whole level of having to earn respect. And I think I would do that. I would. I have the confidence in myself to where I know I'd be able to prove to her and everyone else that I could hang. I 100% could hang with everyone. Whatever obstacle you throw at me, I will overcome, and I will show you why I'm here and why I need to be taken seriously and why people should take me seriously. So, and I think I've heard people compare my wrestling to her. So I think it means a lot to me because I've always looked up for her, or I've always looked up to her. So having a match with her would mean a lot to me because I want to prove to her, hey, I could do this. I could wrestle with you. I'm here. Look at me.
Huh?
So yeah, but that's one of my favorite storylines is Jericho and Shawn Michaels. The student becomes a master.
In this fantasy storyline of yours, who comes out on top?
Me. No question, me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't waste any time with that. Just boom, me. Yeah.
Well, because I like to see it as the youngest. Well, I'm thinking of a family because I'm thinking about my little sister. She's the youngest always. They have the knowledge from. They pick up all the knowledge from the oldest. So I picked up all the knowledge from her. but I also know more because I have my knowledge too. Not only do I have your knowledge, but I have mine too.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you what you could do. I'm going to show you what I could do too.
Fair enough. And that was your fantasy booking for the. Normally I pitch one of my own, but I'm going to take a slight detour simply because you used the term AJ Lee in here, and I disqualified her because she isn't wrestling any longer.
No.
But I'm going to ask because I'm assuming that there was some story that you had concerning her. Is it the same story, or is this something different that you had with Miss Lee?
I wouldn't necessarily say like a story. I think I would just want to like learn from her. The same with Heidi. I think I would enjoy working a match with her because I know there's so much that she would be able to teach me. And with AJ, I think it would be cool. She's been around for so long, and not like so long. Obviously, there's people that have been around longer than her, but she's been around like a good amount of time, and she's it sucks because it was the women's wrestling. It was just starting to take off when she was there, but it didn't have the credit that it's having now. And she was one of the people that started to pave the way for the whole women's revolution. So I hope one day she does come back because I know a lot of people can learn from her because she was one who actually took this, women's wrestling seriously. There were a lot of people, and we've like busted our butts to try to be taken seriously. There's a lot of women who just came here to look good, but there's also a lot of women, especially now, who just want to be good. And those are the type of women who like deserve to be here. And you can tell the difference between the people who want to look good and the people who want to be good. So.
Well, fortunately, cool. I think they turned the corner with that look good and be good. They still have a little bit of holdover from the Divas era, and I won't go into that or who those persons are, but I think they have turned the corner as in getting people who are there primarily based on their talent and not just because they were a model that they found out of a catalog.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. You shouldn't have to have a nice body in order, I was going to say big boobs, and I was like, that has nothing to do with wrestling ability.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. It would really irritate me. Like, don't change yourself just to be a good wrestler, because that has nothing to do with it. Just train and work hard and let your craft show that,
Although I will say, as a side note, when you're involved in a storyline that somehow keeps you out of the ring week in and week out, it is funny. I will give it that.
That's very funny. Actually, I kind of absolutely love what they're doing with that because that's really funny, especially that she already has, before that was even going on, people are like, you can't wrestle, and now they're kind of like playing into that, and I think that's hilarious.
Right I was like, that might be the best thing they could have ever done with her. I was like, this is great.
Hilarious. I love what they're doing. Because it's kind of like, we'll show you. All right, you want to play that game? We'll play too. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, and that's what they've done. I have to give them that much because I'd have never thought of that.
Right.
It would have just been, you got to go. I'm so sorry.
I apologize.
They've been future endeavor. Lastly, I have to share this end of it, and I'll make it quick. The fantasy booking on my end, if I had the magic pen right now, and I was able to put Kylie Ray into a match, I think we take you as the Diamonds Division champion, your current situation, and you have an outside force. In this case, I'm going to say Kiera because she's traveled back and forth to the company.
Yes.
And she needs to be in a situation where she could legitimately complain that this company isn't giving me the shot that I deserve. I had her beat, and the ref didn't count on my size. Something. Enough to where Kylie is able to get on camera in front of the mic and say, look, if you feel that badly that you want a championship match, but you don't think that reality of wrestling is a place to do it, you name the time, you name the place, and I'll be there. She finds neutral ground. We'll just use Shine Wrestling in Florida because Neither one of y'all are from Florida. And then you have, for the first time in a completely third-party promotion, the Diamonds Division Championship being defended on neutral turf between two people where there will be no political parties being played off against nobody in the background, nobody runs into the ring, no crooked refs, none of that stuff. You have it right there for their pay-per-view, and then everybody's happy.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That is a wild pitch and probably will never happen, but
never say never, because you know what? It sounds pretty good, I must say. And I mean, obviously, I want to one day hopefully work at Shine. That would be awesome. And wrestling Kiera.
Well, see, now that would take at least like 2 months to work that up. You'd have to have her out there. She'd have to lose in some kind of controversial fashion. Then she'd have to send in a promo saying this wasn't fair, yada yada yada. And then you have to work in neutral ground, that whole deal.
Right. It's a work in progress.
Well, there you go. Work in progress. It has to be all of that. So,
yes.
So now we have you have pitched, I have pitched. I think we've covered, you went down the line of these incredible questions with fascinating answers, which I'm going to make sure that you get as soon as this is up and active. Of course, if you're listening to this right now, then it's available today. But I will repeat that if you have not gone on to WPNWrestling.com and seen all the other interviews that are following this, I usually try to put in the date of the release and the person who is being interviewed. So if you're remotely interested in whomever I've been talking to that day, that is the way that you do it. And you want to subscribe to all the digital platforms that we exist on, and then you won't have to think about it at all. It'll just show up. So, that said, Ms. Kylie Ray, for any promoter that is out there trying to contact you and have you on their show, how can they reach you?
Well, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, but let's see. So Twitter is Kylie_Ray X3. Although my Facebook is coming up this week, so you could look out. Well, I don't know. By the time this airs, I'm sure it'll be up. So at Facebook, Kylie Ray. So I swear, yeah, you can find me on there. I'll take bookings through Facebook. So I think that's about it.
That's about it.
And I'm still getting used to the whole social media thing.
What do you mean you're just getting used to it?
I know. I feel like I'm so old. Like I should be like up to date with all this. I'm just not tech savvy. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, through Facebook. My Facebook will be up this week, I promise.
Now, I'm going to look this up. Your Twitter is Kylie_Ray, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Kylie_Ray X3. Because X3 is like if you look to the side, it's like a heart. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm like kind of a nerd. I mean, I've said this like 4 times, but I thought it was cute.
Well, that's fine. We have you now, so they can catch you on Facebook right now. You are now currently developing a Facebook page for your wrestling, I'm assuming?
Yes.
All right. So promoters that are looking to do that, Twitter and Facebook will be your most optimal choices to book Kylie. And as always, book them because they need to get to work. They got to get out there and get some extra talents. In her case, we're going to just go ahead and put it out there. If you are a fantasy booker that can make it reality, Heidi Lovelace, Kylie Ray, she's wanting it.
Oh my God, yes. That got me so excited.
You can hear it in her voice right there. So with that, are there any final words that you have for your fan base and the promoters and anybody else that's out there listening right now?
I just want to say thank you for all your support. It means a lot to me, and I swear that's not generic. It truly means a lot to me, especially the people that reach out to me and thank me for doing what I love. That blows my mind that I'm getting thanked for doing what I love. So thank you in return for all of the support and the kind words. I appreciate all of you.
And with that, folks, that is another interview in the can. We appreciate Kylie coming on and taking time out of her night and sacrificing pay-per-view time to sit and talk with me. So I do believe that, again, I can't plug it enough. Go on to the WPN page if you want to know when the following interviews, when the next ones are going to air. Also, the introducing series that is on our YouTube channel. We have the MP3 interview with Kelly Klein coming up, but we also have the video of that, which is part of the introducing series. And the powerhouse Jessica Lee. Those are coming up, and those are pretty good interviews, I must say myself. And one of these days, I'm going to just go ahead and put it out into the universe. Kylie Ray will be on the introducing series as well. Somehow, when we get her into Atlanta, that's the thing. So,
yes.
An open call for any promoters out there. Come on, man. Just bring her down.
Yes, thank you. I'm more than happy to do that. I would love that.
So there we have it. Thanks again for coming on to the show, folks. Check her out. Check us out. The support always means a lot.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. And that's that. You're clear.
Oh, thank you very much. It was so nice to talk to you.
Thank you. See, that wasn't too painful, was it?
No, it wasn't at all. It was really good. I appreciate that. Thank you for being my second ever interview. I'm starting to feel a lot better about these. I gotta get used to these, right?
You should. This should be an easy thing for you. And when it is edited down and available, as I usually upload it up to Podbean, and that makes it available on iTunes. I haven't started pushing it out to Stitcher yet, but it will be available probably in the next week, I think. I'm not in front of my calendar right now, so I don't know when it's actually scheduled to go out. But when it is, definitely will have you out. I just subscribed to your Twitter on the Women's Pro Wrestling Network Twitter channel, so you'll definitely see it on that, if nothing else.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was awesome talking to you.
It was great talking to you. Going in and finish watching Clash of Champions.
Okay, thank you. You enjoy it too.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the WPN's Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. If you have questions or comments, please contact us via our Facebook or our YouTube channel at the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. If you're new to the WPN, feel free to subscribe to our channel and like our page. We appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening.